Alright, so I think you're going to find that graphing with slope-intercept form is so much faster than graphing with a table. And they're both going to do the same. They're going to give you the same graph. So it is an option that you could use a table whenever you're graphing. But when it's written in this form, we have to see it in this form. So y equals mx. M is the slope plus b. And b is the y-intercept. M is the slope. Okay? So what is the slope in this case? The slope is going to be -2. And so we'll say, is it -2 or -2? And really that's the same thing, right? Now, what does that look like if we write it as a fraction with a rise over run? So rise over run. You don't need to write this down, but that would be the same as -2 over 1, okay? In the assignment, you don't need to do that. You can just type the answer. These are documents here. You can go ahead and you can do it a couple ways. You could print this off and you could use a ruler. Or you can use the tools by just clicking on the image and then drawing the graph. And I'm doing it where I printed it out and then I'm just going to draw on it, okay? And I have my arrow tools. So the first, there's a slope, -2, and then our y-intercept, okay, that is right here at 1. So my y-intercept is at 0, 1. This is the y-intercept, right? I also like to consider that as my starting point. That's where I'm going to start. Now you would have done this when you did the IXL exercise, and it's the same thing here, but we don't have that digital tool. So we're going to start by putting a point at the y-intercept. In this case it's at 1, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and do my rise before you run. Always rise before you run. So if it's a negative slope, that from left to right is going to be going down, something like that, right? So I'm going to go down 2, so 1, 2, and then I'm going to go over 1. So here's my next point here. And I could keep doing that. I could say I'm going to go down 2 again, and then over 1, okay, and put another point here. I really don't need to do that. I could just start with a 1, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and graph it because I'm just going to put that y-intercept there, put my line, get my ruler out, and straighten it out, make a nice line, okay? So let's go to insert. I'm going to insert a line here. And I'm just going to start exactly at the y-intercept and extend that. And I'm going to have to go and use this tool here where I can adjust it. Okay, I'm going to stretch this up a bit. I can just keep going forever, really. It doesn't matter where I end things. Okay. Alright, so it looks something like that. That's where it's going to be. Let me just erase the, well, no, that's fine. Okay. So always rise before run. Take a look at it. One way you could check to see if it's correct is to use Desmos. And then go ahead and write this equation into Desmos. And that would tell you. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. This one's for you to do. So you're going to decide what is the slope. Okay, where's the slope? What is the slope? And what is the y-intercept? Start with the y-intercept. Start with the y-intercept and then do rise over run and go ahead and graph it. Okay, you can do this manually. Take a picture of it and put it in your notebook. Or, of course, you could just click on the image and draw the graph. The tools are not the greatest. That's why I chose to take this and use my own tools to go ahead and make the final graph. Okay. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. I want to let you kind of try to work through numbers 2 to 4 on your own. And this is it for basically for the unit.